Hello everyone, today is a last day of summer and it's a good reason to start of wool sewing. And here you can see a wool fabric in beautiful gray color, and I'm going to sew a cord, something like this. I have satin viscose as a lining. I have thread as well and buttons attached to the toil because I have made a toil. In the beginning I thought I will make a collar, but then I changed my mind and I will show you why. Here in the beginning I also thought to make the pocket like this in the side seam, but then I changed my mind as well. I will make this kind of pocket because it's, for me, it's more comfortable to have this kind of pockets. The buttons looks like there is like a metal part inside, but it's not, it's plastic anyway, but it suits this fabric perfectly. I'm not going to do a collar because I have this wool scarf, and just have a look at this. It matches with my fabric. It looks like they made from one type of threads. The temperature of gray is the same. See that I have everything to start. There are a few reasons why I do thread marks. The back part and front part of sleeve look similar but are not the same. The back and front of sleeves facing are not the same as well. I also want to know where is the wrong side and right side because they also look so similar. almost the last step of fabric cutting, and now I am cutting a lining. So this is the back. On the back I'm not gonna do a seam, just I made a fold here and added a little bit more fabric here, just to be sure that lining is enough. The same with the side seam. There is no side seam, but I added just about maybe 7 millimeters more. And the last step of cuttings will be pocket, but this I will do when I'm going to sew the pocket. So now let's cut. And I'm going to cut now lining of the sleeves, and I just wanna say very important point about this bottom. I'm gonna roll my sleeves, and that means that I need more lining. So I just need to add, so 1 centimeter will be for seam, and 3 centimeters I think would be enough for rolling of end of the sleeves. I have used 4 types of interfacing and different colors and different thickness. So the first one is the biggest one, and probably you can recognize it if you used it before. Basically I use it for cord, so there is no stretch at all, and I applied it on facing, and I applied it on the bottoms of the cord. That one is a bit thinner one and a bit elasticated, so I have applied it on the back, on the front, just a little bit to give a shape, no more. It's very soft, it's very nice. And the others pieces, that's all I have in gray color. It's just for buttonhole because it's gray, because when I'm going to make a buttonholes, I don't want to see through the interface, through the buttonholes. And that one, the same as the gray one, but in white one, I just applied on the shoulders, on the neckline, on the armholes, just to fix them for future. So I just cut them with that direction, and that's all. That's all I have. Basically, I do the same process, and it works in my life perfectly. So here, just have a look quickly. So here's the facing, and I have applied those gray interfacing on the round facing. Then I will just change it. I will show you how to change it if you made this mistake as well. But right now I still don't know about that. So facing, covered it with interfacing totally, and on sleeves as well, on the back as well. So here on the buttons I have interfacing as well, those white one, just to make a good shape for buttons of the cord. The beige one, the elasticated, you can see on the back and on the front a little bit. And you can see here as well that I applied interfacing on the shoulder, on the neckline, and on the armholes as well. It depends on interfacing, on applying and choosing interfacing, depends on what fabric do you have and what exactly do you want to receive in the end. So you just, all of this is based on my personal sewing experience. that's exactly what I'm sharing with you, and I hope it's useful for you. Have a look to the info box. There is a separate video of welt pocket sewing. Next step is to connect all of this together. I will start with sleeves, so I will do both of these seams. I will do inside part of sleeves, and then we'll add a lining of sleeves. There will be on the bottom of the sleeve there will be a hidden seam. I'm gonna show you it a bit later. Then I do lining and fronts and facing of the front as well, and then I do back. Where is that? Where is the back? Oh, back here. The back side, back seam as well. So just stitch, stitch, stitch. It's a nice process, isn't it? What to do with the edges, where to turn it, on the back or on the front. But this is front, and I prefer turn it to the front to make a seam invisible. And the same I will do with this seam as well. All right, I have to cut front, back, because I will roll it down. And this seam should like that seam as well. Okay, so I will cut from the front side and cut from the front side. This seam that will be just like I've done tack and stitch of both sleeves, and now I'm going inside, and all I need to do is to apply herringbone stitch just as close to the end to fix them in a right position. So have a look. I have connected side seams and back seam with a herringbone stitch as well. I have connected all lining, and my sleeves are ready to be connected to the armholes. All I need to do is to stitch front seam and neckline, but before I want to show you how I fixed those mistakes with interfacing. I've got sharp scissors, just cut out non-needed interfacing under my future buttonholes and applied the same color of my fabric interfacing. That's all. So if you made the same mistake, no worries, you still can fix it and everything will be alright. Just let me to show you quickly how the seams looks like if you're going to sew this coat as well. So this is the facing and lining, and I fixed the edges with herringbone stitch as well. I've used for lining scissors with zigzag, and here as well. And this is the other face seam. So this is side seam, and you can see that it's quite a lot of hand stitching, to be honest. This is back, side, and I think this type of seam looks much better. This is shoulder seam, and you can see here that the edges turn to the front as well. And then when I connect a sleeve on the armhole and the shoulder, you can see that the seam will continue on the sleeve as well, so the edges look the same side. As for me, this is the beautiful way. So now what I'm going to do, I will continue to stitch front seam, then neckline and front seam from other side. Then we'll continue with sleeves as well, lining and main fabric, and the next step will be a hem of the coat. How to stitch corners. So basically is 1 centimeter edge over here and here as well. But I'm going to stitch like that. Because the fabric is quite thick, and it's better to do a corner a bit like round than sharp. It will look much better. have a look over here. This is the armhole seam. I go inside just to show you what I'm going to do with this seam. I have stitched it around the armhole twice, and I have stitched also here on the lining sleeve. So pull it out because I need some space. All right, I believe that these edges should look to the shoulder like this, and if I see here on the face, it will be something like that. So what I'm going to do, I will cut out the shoulder edge like that. The edge of the sleeve will be a bit longer, and then I will use this my hidden cross stitch to fix it from that mark to that mark. Under the arm here on the bottom, I just cut it a little bit shorter and make this little cuts to make edge open and close. And that's all with this seam. Have a look to the info box. There is separate video of the corners sewing. My corners are done. Before I applied a tack and stitch on the neckline and half of both fronts. Now I'm continue on the front, then going to the bottom and another front with tack and stitch. please don't skip these steps, because this step very important. It gives very good look for future coat. So I applied tack and stitch on the front, on the back, on the neckline, and now I'm going inside through the open part of the bottom, and we'll apply herringbone stitch, those cross stitch that I really like to use, especially with wool fabrics, and we'll do the same what I've done with tack and stitch. If I were to choose a top stitch instead of hand stitches, I do need apply herringbone stitch at all, because top stitch will fix the edges of the coat, but I have chosen a different style. I'm coming back to the sleeve. It's probably annoying but very important step as well. Don't skip it, please. So you just need to connect around the seams facing and the sleeve with loose thread. The same I should do with another seam. So there are two seams on the sleeve, so I will apply two loose connection, and with another sleeve as well. And also I need to connect lining and the shoulder area and lining under the arm. When I was sewing a pocket, I have stitched a little tail that made from the lining fabric, that one. And now I need to connect another side of this tail to the facing. It gives to the pocket a direction where to look. It's just a little step. It looks very annoying as well, but it's important to skip this step as well. Oh my god, almost done with the hand stitching. Almost last step, I promised. So one more tack and stitch needed, and I'm applying it right now. Then I go inside again and we'll do a herringbone stitch, and after that I will stitch the lining hole on the bottom. how to make buttonholes. Find it in the separate video. Usually for coats, I use back buttons. You can see now how it looks like. It's clear, small, and flat. Also, coat button requires a thread shank. You can place a cocktail stick on the button and stitch up down through the holes going over the stick. But basically I don't use it at all. Maybe because I have experience how to sew buttons without these sticks. And you can repeat after me and have the same buttons as I usually do. And then in the end I just rub the thread around the thread loops under the buttons to make a shank. Almost the last step is to make a back hoop. To be honest, you can skip this step, but I don't want. I found this free bone in a beautiful gray color, so just folded the ends and fixed it with cross stitch. And finally, the final step. I'm ironing all my cord. It needs to be fixed by iron, by temperature. To be honest, it's already fixed with all these hand stitches inside. Anyway, just give it a good finish with iron. From that time, I'm gonna name all my sewing, all my makes. So let me introduce you, cord Kyiv. I'm enjoying my cord for 2 weeks already, and I have something to say about it. Right now, for that video, I'm wearing a cotton cardigan with quite wide sleeves and low armhole, and it got perfect match with my coat as well. By the way, I can use this coat as a cape. As always, the UK weather changed the plan, and I swapped jeans to long skirt and oversized cardigan to strap sleeveless top. And I remade this skirt from no needed dress. I took off the sleeves and insert them into the side seams of the skirt, and at the same time I made my skirt long length. Now I have a perfect merino wool skirt that matches my new coat. But in 10 minutes the sun is gone and we are coming back to the rainy weather, and I still need to show you scarf. But it's windy in UK, especially in autumn and winter. So what I'm going to do, leave the sand on the right side, then turn around the neck, and then just push other side between the buttons. Leave fringe over here, and this is it. Wind never catch you anymore. It's a little trick that works for me perfectly. That's all for today. Thank you for watching and see you next time.